Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, dear students. You are going through nowadays discussion about the corruption, the FBR and the audit and accounts. I think you are a good accountant and the good auditor, and at the same time, if you are the head of any of the institution, you should maintain your record in a comprehensive and an appropriate way, so that you do not feel at any stage any kind of the complication, because the financial matters are so sensitive and everyone has a critical eye on this, because it leads towards an open way of corruption. So if you want to be honest and you want to resist those people, at least you will have to keep your record according to the rules and regulation. So what we covered in the previous lecture, simply the audit and account. What is the audit? It is just the confirmation that whether all the expenditures are being spent according to the code of conduct, rule of business, or the legislature or the provisions given in any of the documents. So for this audit, there is the whole department, that is the audit and accounts, and Auditor General is the head of this department, and being a key post, it is being appointed by the President of Pakistan. He presents annually reports about all the ministries to the President, and the Public Accounts Committee has the privilege to discuss these reports, and it can call for question any of the head of the institution if it is satisfied with the report of the any of the ministry or the institution. Well and good, but if there is any of the problem, it can ask for the explanation, or it can ask for that there should be some of the justification, and further, if it is not satisfied with the explanation, it can ask for the recovery. Then we just talked about the accounting, and at this step we concluded that we have borrowed this system from the British India, and our whole system in 1973 and in other constitution and 56 and 62, there are provision for audits and accounts, and these are just a borrowing from the previous, that was the British era. After this, we talked about just about the accounting. It is very simpler as compared to the audit, and it is interesting to know that audit is made on the basis of the account. If there is no accounting system, accounting just record keeping, nothing else, that it is a proper way that is sanctioned by the prescription prescribed by any of the competent authority or the legislature. It is the keeping of the record. So you should maintain all the records with receipts. Receipts are critical in this, because if you do not keep the receipt, you are not going to be allowed to say that this is correct. You will have to provide all these receipts to the when there is an audit. After this, we just started discussion about a massive institution, that is the Federal Board of Revenue. The people also call it that this is now has become now a white elephant, but it's still performing a very interesting functions, and in the whole country's economy depends on this, because it provides the income, the revenues to the government, and without the revenues or the expenditure, government can't survive and exist. And one of the slow functioning of this FBR or the CBR has led to the slow growth in the countries, because when there is a mismatch between the expenditure and the revenues, then the government has to borrow from some other sources. For example, there is the foreign aid, there are the loans, money printing, internal and external debt are available option with the government. So in this situation, the development is negatively effective if there are high debts, and one of our high fiscal debts and debts are one of the reason for this, that our FBR has been not as competent, has been not as efficient as it should be. So we just saw about this, that what is the FBR, and we again concluded that this system is also based on the act that was in the British India, and first it was 1924, then we saw that in 1944, just 3 years before the separation of the British India, they made a full-fledged division of this FBR, and this situation continued till 1960 in Pakistan with some of the modification. So today we will comprehensively look at the FBR, and then we will start a new another topic. So the FBR in 1974, as I said, that this system continued till 1960. There were not huge and massive changes in the system. So in 1974, some of the changes were made in the function. Up to that, there were not significant changes, and you can say in with the small modification, the 1947 Act of FBR or the CBR of Indian government, it continued, and in 1974, after the 25 years, after the 27 years of the inception of Pakistan, we thought that there is need to change this FBR or the CBR system. So now you can see that what is the difference between the developed and the visionary nations, that over 27 years we could not rectify this ordinance. There are not the Ordinance Act, there are so many other examples, the Police Act, the Health Acts, and many other examples that still they are based on the British laws. So at that time the British has different motive as compared to this Pakistan nation, because the Pakistani ruler are from Pakistan and they want to address the issues of the public, but on the other hand the British were the ruler of this continent, and they tried to envisage and they tried to implement their policies in their own ways, because their ultimate objective was to just to linger on their occupation on this territory. So there should have been difference, but unfortunately over the years we could not achieve this. The post of the chairman was created in 1973. The head of the CBR was created, and it was called that there will be a chairman that will be heading this CBR system, Central Board of Revenue. Revenue division was abolished in 1995. The revenue division that was full-fledged created in 1947, it was totally abolished in 1995 by the then government, and the revenue division continues to exist since 1998. After 3 years, the new government also reinforced the same system, and now the revenue division still exists there. So you can say that there are some rise and fall in this. Rise and fall. What are these rise and fall? That from 1947 to 1995, this remains in with a full-fledged division, but from 1995 to onwards 1998 it was abolished, and what was there? It was reinforced in 1998 by the enactment of FBR Act. Now up till here it was CBR, Central Board of Revenue, but FBR Act of 2017 has now become now FBR. अब एक्ट 2007 के एक्ट के मुताबिक this is the FBR, that is the Federal Board of Revenue, rather than the Central Board of Revenue. So let me just brief that what happened in this era. two significant changes were brought. The first was that in 1974 there was some of the changing, and one was that the creations of the post of the chairman. The other was that in 1995 the abolishment of the division, finance division. In the 1998 revenue division, not the finance division. In 1998 it was reinvented, the revenue division, and in 2007 in the 2007 Act of FBR, the CBR, that was the Central Board of Revenue, became the Federal Board of Revenue. What are the functions of revenue divisions or the FBR? Mostly we say that these are the functions of the Federal Board of Revenue. As you know that this is also the revenue division. We will see that what are their functions. In the existing setup that is now working in Pakistan, the chairman FBR is the executive head of the board. The chairman, the post that was created in 1974, now the chairman is the executive head of the FBR. He has the executive authorities, and now it has become a very critical post in Pakistan, and you will see that there are the very influential people who are assigned the task to chair the FBR. It is a very difficult time because FBR has to present the summaries that how much tax a person gives, how much tax is being collected from that or that sectors. So there always have been a huge pressure on the chairman of the FBR. However, the conditions are changing, although at the snail pace, but still I can say a ray of hope, a ray of line or ray of light at the end of the tunnel, that the Pakistan has started going towards in the right direction. I am sure that over the years this country goes towards the development with its lot of resources. The FBR's contribution could be significant in economic development of this. He is not only the executive head, but what is this? He is also the secretary of the revenue division. So the FBR chairman has the dual post at this. As you know, the secretary is also the administrative head of its concerned ministry. So the FBR chairman has he at one side he is the chairman of the Federal Board of Revenue, and on the other side he is also the secretary of the revenue division. So he has the dual charge. In simple words, if even I do not say that he has the dual charge, in simple word I can say that he has the most influential and the powerful authority in the whole revenue division, and he controls the whole revenue divisions, and there are many other functionaries working to help it. There are also some of the wings in the revenue division, and there's all the purpose of those all wings is just to help Federal Board of Revenue chairman to accomplish its tasks and to reach and to achieve its objective. However, over the year it has never achieved its objective. We never collected tax up to the target set in the budget. However, the things should improve and are improving. What is the responsibility of the chairman of the Board of Revenue, or the you can say the FBR? Levy and collection of federal taxes. So this is the Federal Board of Revenue. So federal means that it is just concerned about the federal. There are some of the taxes that are directly related with the federal. They are collected from the people from all over the Pakistan. So most of the time it helps in levy and collection of the federal taxes. The income tax, the sale tax, these are the major federal government tax. Quasi-judicial function of hearing appeals. It has not only the executive functions or it has not only the responsibility to devise taxes and implement them, but it has semi-judicial powers that whenever there are appeals against any of its provision, it has the authority to listen and to decide on this. If the matter is more complicated, the people can go to the courts that are available for this purpose. However, the quasi-judicial means that the matter that are at the initial level, they can be heard by this Federal Board of Revenue. What could be those problem? The simple problem could be, for example, if my income is not in the net base and I am taxed, I will be going for this, presenting myself that I am not falling in the tax net, so why I am being taxed. So they have the power to remove my grievances. However, in Pakistan this is seldom done. It is just for the blackmailing of many of the people for this, and ultimately where this leads towards the heavy and the massive corruption. You are fully aware of this, that the police and this tax mafia, they are the leading examples of the corruption in Pakistan. I am not saying that the other institutions like WAPDA, Steel, PIA, Education, Health and many others are free from corruption, yet these could be at the front seat. Interaction with the President Office. So the FBR has to interact with 3 of the offices. What is the President Office? The FBR chairman is also being appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. He keeps the interaction between the President Office, the Prime Minister and all economic ministries as well as trade and industry. So these the tax mechanism and the interaction, it is the duty of the FBR to be a bridge, or you can say it round table, on which it ensures that there is an interaction between the President Office, the Prime Minister and Economic Affairs Divisions and the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. FBR organization and the structure. That who constitute the FBR? Are you the member of the FBR? No, I am not also the member of the Federal Board of Revenue. So how this structure? Because there are very influential people that reach at that step. They have higher privileges, very handsome salaries, much more privileges, pros and cons and benefits for this. So definitely it is a very critical and key post, and government always loves to assign this task to their respective, or you can say that they are more loyal people. The chairman is the head. Now chairman stands at here. It is the head of the FBR. Head. He is assisted by 4 line members. There are now different kinds of member, and if you look at here, there are 4 line members. There is a very large machinery of the FBR, but we will just concentrate on some of the higher level and we will see that how it functions. The chairman of the FBR is assisted by the 4 line members, and for what these line members are, one for each. The first is, or the one is for the direct taxes. It deals with the direct taxes. Would you like to tell me what is the direct tax? Yes, any of the tax that cannot be further transferred is called the direct tax. So sale tax is direct tax? No, sale tax is implemented and levied on the, you can say, the supplies or the shopkeepers, but he immediately transfer it towards the consumers. There is the other members look after the indirect taxes. These are the line members of the FBR. He look after the indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are simply that they can be the direct taxes cannot be transferred, and the indirect taxes they can be transferred. Income tax is the direct tax that cannot be transferred. If they levy 5,000 per month on me, I cannot transfer it to 2 people. And indirect taxes are those taxes that are further transferred. For example, if I am a businessman, I sell the watches, the FBR levy the tax of 100 rupees on each watch. I will just transfer it to the consumer. Would you like to share with me that what is the proportion of taxes in Pakistan total revenue, whether the direct taxes constitute the major proportion are the indirect taxes? I think you can answer at this stage that the indirect taxes have the major share. Then there is a member, that is the sale tax. There are very large amounts of collection of this sales tax. What is sale tax? It is an indirect tax. And there is the federal excise duties, customs and exports. There are member for this. The fourth member is for the excise duties, customs and sports. The third is for sale tax and the federal excise duty up to here. The last member is for customs and sports. 3 sport member. ये कौन से member थे? These were the line member, and these are the sport member. They also assist the FBR chairman to carry out its function. The first is the legal tax policy and reform. This member is concerned about what is the legality of different functions, what should be the tax policy, whether the tax bit should be increased, how the tax bin should be envisaged, how the wealth tax should be increased, rate, whatsoever, limit, ceiling, slabs, all these lies in the jurisdiction of this legal tax policy and reforms member. The other member of the sport member is administration. He administers and helps the Central Board of Revenue chairman in the administration. No doubt the head of the administration is CBR. He also, you can say, this member could assist, and it assists the FBR chairman. Coordination. Now you can see that there are different members, different departments, so I can just show that these are the departments. So the coordination department, just as there is the Facebook, you can say mama se mummy, mummy se baba, baba se, and so on. So this is the coordination member, that keeps all the wings in coordination with each other. No member is less important than the other. If you see that line members are also equally important as the sport members. FBR organization, there are 5 functional members. This is the third kind of member. What was the first one? I remember they were the line member, and there were the 4. The other was the sport member, and what was the number of these sport member? These were 3. And now there are the 5 functional member. So it means 3, 4 and 5, 4 plus 3, 8 and 4, it is equal to 12. Fiscal research and statistics. You know that there are fiscal means about the taxes and the expenditure, and definitely it is only one part, that is about the revenue. So there are the fiscal research and statistics, that what will be the effect of these taxes on that and that, who will fall in the tax net, how much if the government increases sale tax by 1%, how much there will be the tax collection if government reduce the direct tax by 1%, how there will be the reduction in the total revenue. This all is being carried out in the research and statistics division of the Federal Board of Revenue. So out of these 5 members, one is concerned, or one look after the fiscal research and the statistics. Statistics are available there, because if they want to change any of the policy, this is an instrument and it has some effect on the total collection of the revenue. It may increase, it may decrease. Sometimes you say that the government is giving rebate, sometimes government is withdrawing this rebate. So all these calculations are being done in the Federal Board of Revenue, and one member is taking care of that. That is called the fiscal research and statistics, and these members are called, as this is the function, they are called the function member. The other lies with the human resource management. In all the institutions, in all the commissions, in all the boards, there is one department that is called the HRM, human resource management. There are employees, how to look after their employees, their performance, their problems, and to solve them problems, their promotions, all this is dealt with the recruitment of new members, the de-recruitment of the, if there are surplus people, the training of the competent people, and many other related to leave, their gratuity, and many other things. These are all concerned with the human resource development management. So this HRM is one member deals with this, so all the problem are related, goes there. Then the audit, very big account of this FBR organization. It collects the revenue that a country spends in almost in 1 year. So the audit is this. This is not above, and the FBR is not above the audit. So it has to maintain all the record. It means audit and accounting is equally applicable in case of the FBR. So this member, that is, we are talking about the functional categories. This relates to the audit. It prepares, it manages all the audit system when there is such kind of activity. The fourth member is information management system. It is related to the information management system. FBR is a very sensitive department, and if it gives any of the policy statement, it has significant effect on the business activity. So there is an information management system, and it also provides maximum information to the people. For example, if you are filling your tax return, I am sure you will be confused that there are so many complicated information that we have to put for this. So what is this? If you want to clarify it from any of the FBR mechanism, there is an information management system, and one member deals with this. Facilitation and the taxpayer education. Tax is a very unwanted burden on the customer or any of the citizen. Irrespective of the developing and the developed countries, the people do think, and they rightly say, that in the developed countries people pay tax happily. No, no person pay tax happily, because they have the fear of the government, and they think that if they will not pay the tax, they will have to be fined that are much more higher than the tax. On the other way, they may be happy because they think that all these revenues and the taxes will be spent back on those welfare of those people. So this could be a true assumption that they pay it happily. In Pakistan, first, the people are not willing to pay the tax. The reason is that they do not they do not trust the government that it will be spending their scarce money on the welfare of the same people or the same group or the people of Pakistan. So this member or the department facilities and the taxpayer education, it convince the people that the taxes are for the well-being of the people. It gives how to you can give tax, facilitate the people in paying the tax, gives different rebates, gives different deadlines, extends the deadlines, and many others. Now the constitutional framework for recruitment of government employees in Pakistan. The discussion about the FBR is over, and you can see that it was a very, very limited discussion. Why this is a limited discussion? We just talked about the top people of the, you can say 12 people, the chairman, the line member, the support member, and the functional member. These are the powerful, or the, you can say, the wings of the FBR. Now a different story starts, that is directly, the previous discussion was also directly related to with you and me. This discussion is equally important not only for you and me, but being a public administrator, you should be aware of each and everything here, because it is totally concerned about the human resource management, or that what are the recruitment categories, how you recruit the civil servants, what are their rights, what are their obligations. So we start a very comprehensive, important topic with keeping very limited to the discussion and getting some of the feedback from you people. The bureaucratic structure is divided among three categories. In Pakistan now we are concentrating that the bureaucratic structure, that there are all the civil servants are bureaucrat in one way or the other. This structure can be divided into three groups. This is the one group, this is the second group, and this is the third group. The first is the generalized service, I will call it the GS. What is the generalized service? Now I am talking about totally the public servants, the bureaucrats, not the very high level bureaucrats. It applies to each and every public servant. It also called the administrative service. These generalized service, these are also called the ES, these are the administrative service. The second category is the functional service, that is the FS. These are the categories of the services mechanism. First was the general services or the administrative services. The second is now the functional services. It comprises audit and accounts, taxation, military service, customs, etc. It has the what are the functional service? I have brought about mentioned just four major its components. What is the audit and accounts? The other is the taxation, the military service, and the customs. So these are related to the function. So if you are an employee in the customs, you are the part of the functional services. The third one is the specified services, SS, comprises Central Engineering Service of Pakistan. So these are specific to this criteria, that these are related to the Central Engineering and Pakistan. So at the broader sense, we have divided the service categories into three: the generalized services, the functional services, and the specified services. How the government employees recruitment starts here from this. Civil service, key wheels of the state. Now I think as we are converging towards the end of this course, I think I have been successful in convincing you that the civil bureaucracy or the civil service are the key factor in the development of any of the country. If they are not corrupt, if they are competent, if they are visionary, then they can run and they can help the administrators, or they can help the political government to run the country in a better way. So the civil servant are the key wheels. If wheels are not functioning properly, whatsoever the quality of the car is, whatsoever the quality of the engine is, it is not taking the car at a required speed. Therefore, leader for these services are drawn from competitive exam. As the civil service is the backbone of the all the services, so the heads are not directly drawn from here. They go by step or step. So in the beginning, when we say that these are the heads of the future. So these are drawn from through the competitive exam, and you know there is a very famous exam, that is the CSS, Central Superior Services, and the people who think that they are capable, they are efficient, they take part in this examination, and if they prove their worth, they become the part of the civil servants, and they proudly, and they should be proud, because it is a very rigorous and you can say the lengthy procedure. And after all, after the 6 or 7 years and even more, the first is the written test, then interview, the psychological test, and many others, and then ultimately a person is selected for the civil servants. The officer thus appointed are bestowed with the solemn responsibilities. These officials are given very sacred and very specific responsibilities to deliver to the services or to help the running of the country. They are scheduled to hold the highest office in Pakistan. Definitely, if you start from the very beginning, in the 17th grade you come, there is the possibility that if your functioning is going properly, you may reach the maximum grade, that is the secretary grade in Pakistan. For example, if you start from the section officer, you may reach at the secretary level. On the other hand, if you go through the ISSB, Inter-Services Selection Board, you start from the lieutenant, second lieutenant, there is equal chance that you reach at the maximum, that you become the chief of the army staff, or you reach the point of the lieutenant general. So there is a mechanism for all the services, for the generalized service as well as the functional services as well as the specified general services. So we will be getting some of the common criteria that applies to each and every employee, and then we will discuss it in detail. The famous Civil Servant Act 1973. If you are public administrator, if you are a civil servant, you should go through this document. It is very necessary for you. It will tell us that how much the Constitution provides you the protection, and how you will have to recruit the people, and what are the other terms and conditions of the recruitment. How it states, it is an act to, what is this? To regulate the appointment of person to and terms and condition of the service of person in the services of Pakistan. What is about this text, the act? This is simply that it tells that how you will recruit or appoint the people for the civil services of Pakistan, what will be the terms and condition of a civil servant, and how you will perform these during, how you can perform it when you are at the specific seat. What is the short title of this? This is an application and commencement. First we will see its short title, its application, and its commencement. The act may be called the Civil Servant Act 1973. Again, I would like to request you that you must go through this documents. It is easily available on the internet. You can access it very easily. Google it and enjoy this. The act, what is the name of the act? The act is called the Civil Servants Act 1973. It applies to all civil servants wherever they may be. All the civil servants comes under the domain of this Civil Servant Act 1973. If you are a deputation, if you are A ministry, B ministry, Z ministry, it applies to all civil servants. The rules and terms and condition of each civil servants are carried out, are framed, are designed in the 1973 Act. It shall come into force at once. It is with most of the acts that they come immediately into force after their, you can say, after their appearance. Terms and condition of the civil servants. What are the terms and condition? क्या हैं आपकी civil servant? जब आपने जो है वो नौकरी ज्वाइन की, was there any terms of condition? Let me remember, yes, I have also some of the terms and condition, because when I signed my agreement with the ComSat Institute of Information Technology, there were many terms and condition, and these all terms and condition was not in conflict with the act we saw there, that the Civil Servants Act 1973. Over time there have been made changes into the 1973 Act, particularly from the military rulers. However, the main act remains there. So what is this? The terms and condition of civil servant shall be as provided in this act and rule. Simply, the general theme is that all the terms and condition of the civil servant will be borrowed from where? Not from some of the other source. These will be directly borrowed from this act, that is the Civil Servant Act 1973. The terms and condition of services of any person to whom this act applies shall not be varied to his disadvantage. जो आपके साथ terms and condition जो है वो हो गई हैं, they cannot be changed to make me disadvantaged. Forget about the ground realities. in many of the semi-government or the private institution, the situations are different, although they are also they function, they have follows the term and condition. For this the person can approach to the court, but this is more applicable to the civil servants only. So what the second this 3 lines sentence what says, that the condition of service of any person, this word is extremely important, that any person, it means that all the citizens of the Pakistan are equal who are in the service, to whom this act applies. If it applies to me, if applies to you, shall not be varied. We can't change this to his disadvantage. जिससे मुझे जो है वो कोई नुकसान हो, it cannot be changed. Tenure of office of civil servants, कितना जो है वो tenure होना चाहिए जी, आप बताएं जी. Every civil servant hold office during the pleasure of the president. It is written in the constitution, it is written in the 1973 act, that each and every person who is a civil servant, he can hold the office only and only until and unless he enjoys the pleasure of the president. So if you will see many of the order, although this is not written there that this ordinance is being done by being sent by the president office or what this, you will see the word there that there is the competent authority. The competent authority in different cases may be the different, but at the higher post that I talked about, the NAB chairman, the FBR chairman, and the previously audited AG General, Accountant General of Pakistan. So these are all that these, it is on the, all the contracts are on the behalf that these will, the tenure will continue till you enjoys the pleasure of the president. So definitely we have not directly interaction with the president, however we are enjoying this tenure with the pleasure of the president. It means if any of the civil servant is enjoying his service, he is going this with the pleasure of the president. Appointment of civil servants. As I can imagine that as you have seen the words appointments, you have become happy that now you will know that how there are appointments, because you may apply for these appointments, and on the other hand you should be aware of, if you are sitting at the administrative posts of any of the institution, you should be clear about this, that how the appointments of the civil servants are made. Appointments to all Pakistan services are to civil service of the Federation are. Now this act is including each and everything. To a civil post in connection with the affairs of the Federation. कहाँ से start हुआ? Pakistan services are to civil services of the Federation, yes. To civil post in connection with the affairs of the Federation, yes, we say. Appointment to civil posts in connected with the defense. So defense is given some, you can say, the more privilege, and it has been specified there. What happened to all these 4 categories shall be made in the prescribed manner. This is what is prescribed manner. There are rules and regulations. We can't make any of the appointment without the prescribed manner. If you know that there are, what is the prescribed manner, there are advertisement, there are the tests, there are interviews, and there is the recruitment, or you can say the selection for this. So these all services shall be made in the prescribed manner by the president or by a person authorized by the president in that behalf. Now trickling down of the concept, because president can't sign each and every appointment letter on this day, so many people enjoy the powers of the president on his behalf. So for example, if there is a chancellor, vice chancellor, he may be enjoying the powers of the president on his behalf. So this is the appointment of the civil servants in all the services in Pakistan, just to bifurcation: Pakistan services, civil service, and etc. Now you are recruited. अब आपको जो है वो साथ लेके जो है वो चलते हैं. Now we suppose that you have been recruited. So the first comes the probation. Do you know what is probation? Yes. What is this? An initial appointment to a service or post shall be on the probation as may be prescribed. Most of the time it is for 2 years. Because what is the logic behind this probation? There are two logic, there could be more than this. One logic is that if any of the person has come out of the selection procedure and unfortunately he is not competent according to that post, he may be asked to leave the service in the probation. So the first 2 probation period are just for the ensurement that the person is competent for the fulfillment of the requirement of this post. It happens in this that despite the rigorous analysis, the system, the people appear on the surface, sometimes the system cannot screen them out. Any appointment of a civil servant by promotion or transfer to a service post also be made on probation as may be prescribed. जब आप probation पे होते हैं, you may be transferred. These 2 lines are about this. Any appointment of a civil servant by promotion or by promote कर सकते हैं or transfer to a service or post also made on probation as may be prescribed. probation के दरमियान आपका जो है वो ट्रांसफर हो सकता है. ये जो है वो that is very critical part, and in this probation period the people remain very conscious, and as the probation period is over, you can see that there is immediate change of the behavior of the employees, because now they have certain more privileges and they can enjoy some other facilities also. The I wish the satisfactory completion of probation includes the कि आप कहते हैं कि जी आपने जो है वो probation comprehensively satisfactory जो है वो complete कर लिया है. What is this? What is necessary for this? You have passed of a prescribed examination. In many of the you can say the services, there are written examination at the end of the probation period, but in many of the organization this system doesn't exist. If there is if you say that you are from the a civil service where this system is applicable, I say that you say that you are recruited, you completed your probation, and you are asking that you did it successfully. What this means, that you have passed the prescribed examination successfully, or test whatsoever, if they say examination, detailed, or test, or course, any of the course. For example, they arrange a workshop for you, and there are some system and the courses, and it is compulsory for you to pass these. Successful completion of any of the training. आपने course pass कर लिया, you did any of the training course. Now it is according to the ministry, or it can be said that it is according to the nature of the service, the system, the mechanism. Test है तो test pass कर लें, examine, and if you have done it successfully, you have completed the probation. A person appointed on probation has failed to pass such examination, test, or training may be discharged. Thanks to this word. Not here what means that there are training, test, courses, etc. all this I have deliberately excluded all this. So if a person is unable to complete his probation successfully, he may be discharged, he may be sent out of the, he may be fired out of the service job, but maybe now ensures, gives some gray area. The probation may be extended. For example, if it was for the initial 2 years, the competent authority may extend it up to the 3 months. The other maybe he may be given some other chance, and the ultimate is that he may be discharged from the service. So be critical, be very smart in the probation, not only in the probation, but as a civil servant, be very punctual, functional and professional during your probation period, because your the competent authority will, if they will write that they are satisfied with your promotion and you pass some of the required criteria, then you will be permanently appointed for this. Now there is the confirmation. Thanks God, you were recruited, you completed your probation successfully, and now I am going to give you the good news of the confirmation. The confirmation, how it comes, the confirmation that now you are a permanent part of the civil servant system of Pakistan. A person appointed on probation shall. Now look at the words of this, that how comprehensive these are and how we have to interpret this. Appointed on probation shall, on satisfactory completion of his probation, be eligible for confirmation in his service. Totally opposite to this. If probation unable to complete probation in a successful manner, then he may be discharged. Good news here, if he completes his probation successfully, he may be he is eligible for the confirmation in any of the in the respective services. A civil service servant promoted to a post on regular basis shall be eligible for confirmation after rendering satisfactory service. What is this? Is promoted to a post on regular basis. Regular basis में जो है वो promote हो गया, that he or she will be eligible for confirmation when after rendering satisfactory services. जब उसकी जो है वो competent authority लिख देगी कि इसने जो है वो services जो है वो सही तरीके से पूरी कर ली हैं, that will be confirmed. No confirmation against temporary post. Very critical. The political master will give you a temporary post and they will see that okay, you will be getting confirmed after this, but what the Constitution of Pakistan or the Civil Service Act of 1973 says, it clearly says that there will be no confirmation against any of the temporary post. If the seats are post and the seats are temporary, it cannot be confirmed that that person cannot be confirmed. However, in Pakistan there are the example, because when there is sign of the minister, rule relax, everything is okay. Seniority, अभी आपको अपॉइंट किया, अभी आपकी प्रोमोशन खत्म कराई, कंफर्मेशन किया, तो आप जो है वो आप तेजी से लेडर जो है वो चढ़ते जा रहे हैं. Then there is the seniority. Why there is seniority? Seniority is that there is the proper functioning of the systems, as there are the gradual ladder of the different steps of the services. So it is assumed that every person who becomes eligible for this climbs these ladders without any of the hurdle. For proper administration, the appointing authority will cause a seniority list. Seniority list is available there in all the institution, and all the, even you talk about a peon or the grade 1 person, he will be able to tell you that at what number he is in the seniority list, because it is the human nature and we want to progress very quickly, and in each the system you will see there. But there are many of the system when there is no promotion over years and years. I was astonished to know about this, that in college side in the Punjab government, that there are teachers who are still working on the 17th grade or as a lecturer, and their service is more than 17 years. Unbelievable. That creates resentment, and over the years, all the governments, including the Punjab government, could not provide a good mechanism that after a specific time the people are promoted into the assistant, associate professors, and in this way. This is the reason that the people are just think themselves that they are junior to, they are inferior to the other civil servants. But in the CSS cadre, there are rapid promotion, there are continuous and regular promotion, because they are the part of the system who have to devise this system. Secretary is from the, you can say, the civil service cadre, तो उसने जो rules and regulation बनाने हैं, he will be very happy to pass it on the further. The senior, इसकी लिस्ट जो है वो बाकायदा अवेलेबल होती है. Go to the lecturers of any of the Punjab college, you will see that how frustrated they are. The seniority of a civil servant shall be reckoned in relation to other civil servant of the same cadre. मेरी seniority मेरे cadre के हिसाब से बनी होगी. There is not a seniority list across the institution or across the cadre. If a person is from the planning different wings, he will have some seniority in his own cadre. If I am working in the ComSat Institute of Information Technology, when there will be the promotion for this, I will have to compete with the people who are of the same cadre. I will not be competing with the administrative people. I will not be competing with the professors of the Quaid-e-Azam or the Pied University. Seniority shall be determined as may be prescribed. There is the rule for the seniority also, that it is not just that as you start your service and it is just the total calculation of the service and this comes the seniority. There are some breakage of this. There is the suspension period, there are the leave period, there are other deputation whatsoever. These all are, there are the some prescribed criteria that enlist the seniority. Seniority shall take effect from the date of regular. Many people have been victimized for this, that they were recruited on the contract basis. They served in the Punjab government for 5 years, and what was the result? The result was that the Punjab government, I do not know about the other governments, they are not different from this government. So as I have been the direct victim of the Punjab government, so I have a live and more reliable information. So I am going to share with you that the lecturer that came through the Public Service Commission, there was the written test, there was the interview, rigorous mechanism to recruit these lecturers. But what happened, that after 5 years, what did the Punjab government? They said, okay, they are going to make them permanent, but they will regularize them not from the day of joining, but after the 5 years. So the 5-year service went into the hell. So look at this. But in the civil servant, if you go, that in civil service, central superior services, 1% will not allow you even the reduction of 1 day in his seniority. But this is happening in Pakistan. There are not a strong union for this or that. So your seniority will start. Now you should be careful that your seniority will start only from the day of when you are regularized for this. Then there is the promotion. Do you want promotion? Yes, you are jumping and your I can see your glaring eyes that you are very happy to have the promotion. But there is some mechanism for this. Although in Pakistan there is a nepotism, favoritism and other, if you are in the good books of your immediate boss or the competent authority, you will, even you are incompetent, you will be getting the promotion. However, we are studying here, we are talking about the standard criteria for this. A civil servant possessing such minimum qualification shall be eligible to promotion to a higher post for the time being. इसके लिए भी एक जो है वो certain criteria, if you have fulfilled that certain criteria, you become eligible for the promotion. Promotion is for the higher post for the time being, reserved under the rules for departmental promotion. There are seats that are reserved for the departmental promotion. There are some seats that are directly recruited. So if the seats are divided, for example, if there are 4 seats available for the promotion, and that 4% will be promoted and all are equally senior, so and there are 8%. So there could be only 4% that can be promoted for this. So that's why there is written that the rules for the department promotion in service are catered to which he belongs. हमें ये देखना ये नहीं है कि जैसे ही हमारी टर्म कंप्लीट हो जाएगी we should be happy that we will be promoted, but we will be eligible for the promotion. Then we will have to see the prescribed mechanism. If there are seats available for the promotion, then we can say that this is well and good, the person will be promoted. But if the prescribed mechanism is such a way that there are less seats as compared to the number of people, it could be pending, and only 4, you can say the more competent and the favorite people will be promoted. So I will start from the next lecture from your posting and transfer. Still what we did, we recruited you, me recruited you, told about you about the probation, and told about you about the permanent. Then there was the promotion, and be careful, hold your breath. I will make transfer and posting you in the next lecture. I am not going to say you goodbye right now because I know that you are waiting for the summary. So what was our discussion in the previous 1 hour? The discussion was very general and very related towards our issue and the subject. First we started about the Federal Board of Revenue, its structure. What is the Federal Board of Revenue? It just levies the tax, and it helps in the collection, and it not helps, it collects the taxes. What is the mechanism? This mechanism is borrowed from the British, and by 2007 the CBR was changed to the FBR, Federal Board of Revenue. There are different members. There are 3 categories: the line category, the functional categories, and the other are the administrative or the other category for this. They help the chairman, who is head of the FBR, in functioning of the CBR system. The CBR chairman is as usual appointed by the President of Pakistan on the advice of the Prime Minister. Then we started another topic, that was the recruitment of the civil servants. We know this is against the system that is borrowed from the Indian civil service, and this was going in this way. First we started that how there is the recruitment, then we talked about the probation period, then there was the discussion about the permanent, and we talked that step by step there is the ladder permanent, and after the permanent we talked about that there should be the seniority list, and after the seniority there is the promotion. All these have some of the specific and the prescribed criteria. Without fulfilling in this you can't go further. So gird up your lines, be ready, you can go up to the secretary level, and I wish you be a good public administrator. For this, these lectures are very important. To see you in the next lecture. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.